Evening all. We are loading into the game to do a first drive of a car that I have been very excited about coming to iRacing, the Brazilian stock car. Loved this car in Razor's games for a long time, so having it in a game that people actually play online making me very excited. Right, let me just make sure everything is working as it should. Yep, that looks about right. Audio is coming through, mic is coming through. Hey, that's all there. Stream quality excellent, good. Annoyingly, one of the things I can't do in iRacing, I was playing about with this before I launched the stream, but one of the things I can't do in iRacing for whatever reason is have a embedded desktop window, so I can't actually see chat while I'm in iRacing, and I don't have the program in focus. I do have the program in focus, my mouse just isn't on. There we go. Alright, let's have a look at this default setup. Actually not that much to adjust here. That is a very, very aggressive brake bias. It's probably going to be the first thing I change is flinging that back. Let's fiddle with some springs. Generally, you want the car as low as it'll let you put it. I usually go with just put it as low, put it until it starts flashing yellow. Right, that's not a max fuel tank, right? Let's max out the fuel tank and then see what we can do with it. Because we are going to have to crank this car back up a bit. The thing I know about the stock car, purely from what Razor have done with it over the years, is that it's not an evenly balanced car. It's heavier on one side than it is on the other because of how the engine's mounted. Alright, that'll do to be going on with. Just jump in and hear how this thing sounds. Yep, that sounds about right. Oh, this thing is chunky, which, you know, I knew. If you know anything about the stock car, you know it's a bit of a beast. It is a big lad. It's kind of like outer silhouette of a DTM car, but with the weight of a V8 supercar. Take it easy this first lap, just see in the out lap, just get a feel for how this thing moves, how it shifts. Like, yes, I'm familiar with it from Razor's games, but the thing about a car that you may be familiar with from one game is you don't know if it's going to drive the same anywhere else. I think every game has different approaches to handling, every game has different ways of modeling tires and things that are simulated, things that aren't simulated, so everything drives just a little bit different. Might do the same basic lap time, but it's not going to necessarily feel the same. So I did pick the Toyota Corolla because that's just... When I'm racing these in AMS2, that's just the car I use because, you know, fuck Chevy. All my homies hate Chevrolet. Oh yeah, that pulls to the left under braking. Like, hard braking. I felt it pull to the, like, because of the way the weight's distributed, it wanted to pull to the left. Like that's a thing in AMS as well, but it feels more pronounced here. Car also feels very slippery. I don't know if that's just going to be like cold tires, but you know, it is consistent with how I generally drive this car around into Lagos. Like, coming out of all of these slower turns, you're making a lot of small adjustments. Because there is a lot of power that you can lay down. I think it's like 600, 650 brake horsepower in this thing. I might be wrong, it might be around 400. And it just gets warped by the V8, but... like, heavy car, a lot of power, not much downforce. You know, for some people, this is basically their perfect touring car. Okay, 1 minute. We need to get tighter into the center S's. Whoa! Big slide through us. I was just loaded up through the exit to that corner. Like, big slide. I don't know if iRacing's modeled the push to pass on this. Like, that's a thing that it has in AMS. It's a thing it has in real life. At least it did. I haven't actually kept that up that much on the rule changes for 2020. We are braking too late and not enough going into that turn. I'm used to taking that in like open wheel cars with loads of downforce. I don't know, I feel like I'm babying this thing, but it also like... I feel like I'm babying it, but I also feel like I'm finding pace. Like that early turn in there, like it's not a line I usually take, but it is one that feels like it's working. I need to go on trading paints at some point, just... Right, let's brake earlier, get a tighter line into the entrance, and try and widen it out on exit. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Like 2/10 from that alone. And then we drift onto the grass on the exit and ruin it. Whoa, that snapped. Ugh. Well, I said it pulled to the left, and then I stopped giving it respect. exit of this corner is like the graveyard for so many races that I've done in AMS2 around here, because it's... in AMS it feels very slippery, especially in these cars, especially early in the race before things have warmed up. I was doing some practice laps in the Formula Renault 2.0 just to try and dial in my settings, make sure all my stream stuff worked, because, you know, I haven't streamed in about a month because of issues and reasons, mostly being absolutely fucking knackered from work. Last month has been absolute work hell. I did not shift up into 6th there. Okay, that was better. So on there, I was a bit more... we need to be more cautious into that turn. Like, that has always been my worst turn on this circuit, just because yeah, that was crap. I could feel it like coming loose over the crest. It's like there's no reason to really push for a big exit. Like, there's no reason to push for a big exit over that crest, but there's just that part of your racer's brain that makes you want to do it anyway. Like, it is a corner. Must perfect exit. I think I was too cautious through the first part of that time, but too hot. Got on the power too early. Big time smooth is fast feeling right now. It's like the old Prost thing. When I look like I'm going slow, that's when I'm going fast, because it's when I'm most in control. Yeah, we need to be in second gear for that turn. It's a weird turn because it's such a short braking zone, but it's such a tight turn and you need as much drive as possible to get up the hill. So you want to be in second just for the exit. So we can be more aggressive, we can brake at the 100, but it's It's also the issue of running wide through that turn. Like the little slide through the X. I keep saying that turn because I really don't know the turn names at Interlagos. I've done like hundreds of laps in here over time. Hundreds of laps here over time and just nothing. Whoa, that was a clip on the grass. Locked him up. Locked him up into the start of that turn. That sucked. Well, and then we took way too much. Yeah, this definitely does feel right. Like it feels big. It feels weighty. It's a car you need to give respect to. Like, I don't know what the official series for this is going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be C-Class. Because that's what the... You know... This has basically been added. Like, this is purely conjecture. Like, I haven't seen anything, like, official about this. But... This has been added... for the Brazilians, like as a local focus series. Like they want the Brazilians to race this and don't really care if anyone else does. Kind of like the V8 supercar. Like that is there for the Aussies, and anyone else who wants to drive it is like, you're welcome to, but you have to be aware that you are racing on Aussie times, on Aussie servers, against a field of Aussies. For the most part, unless you're like in a league racing. So that's why I expect like the official series for this to be. Like, it is geared towards the Brazilians. There are going to be other people in, especially in its first season, because, you know, new shiny, but this is for the Brazilians and no one else. So C-Class makes sense. Insert joke about Brazilian iRacers here. Cutting room floor. Every Brazilian iRace. The joke is that every Brazilian iRacer thinks they are Senna incarnate. And, you know, you only have to do a handful of races against people with Brazilian icons on their cars before you realise, like, that's not actually unfair. Hey, this is actually a good opening to the lap. I might get a 43 here. Though having seen that the sun's going in, like, I'm wondering if that's just the track cooling down. You know, 43 is a 43. Yeah, start of the second rumble strip is the right braking point there. You start at the end of the second, which is what I sometimes do. Like, and it's a good secondary braking point, but we're also being too conservative into the entrance there. No, this isn't a 43, but it's definitely a 44. Or at least it would be if we could remember to shift up into 5th. Gentle throttle through the second part, and then full bore through the exit. Handling the slide. Good times. Trying to get some good, consistent laps now. Could probably do with increasing the... Whoa, that was way too early for a turn-in. Could probably do with increasing the rear downforce. I mean, Interlagos isn't exactly a speed track. Might go do that now, actually. See how that changes things. Get out the car. Right. Mouse, come back. Thank you. Actually, can we change? Can we change the downforce? We don't have downforce settings. Interesting. Do you want to crank the brake bias back a bit? That'll do. I'm happy with a maximum. There really isn't much. We'll increase the rear brake bias a bit. Because that's my biggest issue right now, is just the car's just a little bit too... The car's just a little bit too tail happy. But I think we might want to soften the front roll bars a little bit. Actually, is that an in-car? Ah, that totally is an in-car. Right. Right, so we can play around with that. Right, let's have a look at these pages. I'm looking at the steering wheel pages and not actually paying any attention.
You got a penalty? We're cutting the course.
Yeah. I don't actually know where I am now. Oh, I'm on this hairpin. Right. Right. Yes. Gonna stick with the base one. For now, at least. Got a 44... Pretty much a 44 dead optimal. Alright. Let's see how a stiffer rear anti-roll bar helps things. I think it's also probably worth remembering that we're driving on full tank of fuel, which probably never going to be doing in any official race. Certainly not something I've ever done in AMS. Oh yeah, that feels way nicer. Like that feels way more planted through the second part of that corner. And the one reason I might soften the front anti-roll bar is just for some extra turning, because the car does feel a bit like a dog in that respect right now. But yeah, I was actually really shocked when I, like, actually taking the time to look at that setup page. I was actually really shocked at how little there was to adjust. Like some... You know, I made the comparison to the V8 supercar earlier, and I know those, I don't think they have adjustable... Actually, no, they do have adjustable downforce. It's their differential that's locked. Yeah, I think I'm making the... Whoa, no, no, no. We shifted down one too far. But yeah, not having adjustable downforce is kind of shocking to me. I'm going to put that back down because that actually felt a little bit like it was making things worse. So next... Ooh, the levers move. Nice. Right, so we will drop the front anti-roll bar a little bit. To try and get some additional turn in. That was too much. I could feel that starting to break loose, like right as I was coming to the exit. now. I think the front might be just a little bit too loose. I think 5 and 2 is the sweet spot, at least for my driving. It just feels right now like the front isn't gripping on corner entry, or maybe like mid corner kind of stuff. Okay, I'm losing my focus now. I think we need to be done here. Yeah, I think that's a decent-ish setup. Obviously, fuel's kind of the main sticking point, but hey, we will return that to the 15.1 gallons of that. And I'll save that as my new setup. Right, I'll quit out of here and see if there's a week 13 race we can do to finish off. Oh, hi humanity. Sorry, I couldn't see. I can't see chat in VR, but this is the Stock Car Pro, the Brazilian stock car, one of the new cars that came out with the new iRacing patch. It is basically a V8 touring car, kind of the Brazilian equivalent of the Australian V8 supercar. Alright, what have we got in terms of week 13? Event type practice. Why the hell did I have that open? Race. There we go. Alright, race. Yes, there is a Dallara Dash firing in like 5 minutes. So, we'll do that and then call it a stream, at least for now. Like one of the... I think this is something that's going to fly under the radar for a lot of people, but one of the best things that they've done with... One of the best things that's happened with this current patch is the ability to set a default display mode, which means no more buttoning out of the loading screen with VR to confirm that you want it to display in VR. It'll just do it. Like you can just tell it, like, I am pretty much always using VR, always load up in VR. Also, a lot of stuff seems to be loading a lot faster. I don't know if this is just because I'm using older tracks, but... I actually have no idea what paint I have on my... what paint I have on my DW12 at the moment. We need to turn to the relative view. Because if you drive and you are not using the relative view, you are a bad person. Relative view is important. Use it. It will make you crash less. Like, so many of the dumb crashes you see, especially in rookies, are from people who are like, oh, the relative box hurts my immersion. And it's like, no. It's there for a reason. It's there to make you know where cars are when you have limited vision. Fucking use it. DW12 at Charlotte. Always a fun time. A lot of things at Charlotte are a fun time, actually. Yes, it's a, like, 1.5 mile cookie cutter, but I like Charlotte. Also, my viewpoint just went really high for some reason. Get down. Fucking tracking shenanigans. And I keep clipping the base on entry. Of course, just being in VR for a lot of stuff helps with wreck avoidance. Just because you can usually see so much of what's ahead. Oh, clip the bottom, didn't hurt. Though also, when you're in practices for an unofficial session, there is that temptation there at all times when you see someone spinning to just plow into them. I mean, IndyCars at Charlotte, it's basically a plate track. So, more strategy than skill. And raw nerve and fear and terror. Because any IndyCar on any oval. Yeah, baby. Yeah, boy. Oh, shit.
Clear, car inside, clear inside. You've got some damage. Let's get that fixed.
Well, that was a crash and then some. Okay, that was netcode. Oh, I'm using that Apple one. But also, like, don't fucking okay me. It's a practice session for an unofficial race in week 13. Like, this is when you do these things. Hopefully this goes the distance, but I'm not expecting it to. Alright, let's judge some liveries. This looks like it should be a Lidl livery, but it is not, and such is life. Who else is out there? Okay, these are just iRacing stock liveries. Like, come on, guys. Trading paints exist. It's where the fun stuff is. Ah! The in the delicate ecosystem of iRacing. This is how you spot predators and dangerous drivers. They have the word Red Bull on the back of their car. These are the other natural predators to be aware of. Oh, moved on very quickly from that. Terribly sorry that you all had to see that. F1 livery on an Indy car, another big warning sign. It's one of those weird charity liveries. Another F1 scheme on a car. That fucking butt ugly Ferrari scheme from I think a few years back. I think that Lowe's one is an actual IndyCar livery. I might be wrong on this. It might be a NASCAR livery. You see a lot of those on IndyCars as well. They're not as big of a warning sign as F1 liveries, but they're still something to be aware of. Survival techniques for the young iRacer. We will qualify because I feel like it. And also qualifying means you end up in the really spicy stuff right from the beginning. Like the people who are actually going to start pressuring and shoving and all that good stuff. And because it's an old bumpy oval scan in an Indy car, constant bumping of your wheel around. Oh, that was bad. Clip the apron. And again. 1 and 2 are not meant to be the tri-oval.
One more lap.
Just smooth transitions and as little steering input as possible. How you go fast on an oval.
Alright, there's checkered flag.
These are real tests. These crashes are real tests of the
You'll need to tow back to pit lane.
real tests of the VR stomach.
And we'll come and get you.
There we go. You're third. Jesus Christ. I'm not even that good in the IndyCar. Also, a lot more people qualified than I was expecting. Qualifying will end in 1 minute 30 due to inactivity. Can we see? Old road course over there. New Charlotte Road is better, but it's still not great. Actually, that's a thing I need to do. Just drop me to class 3. It's like the best thing you can do for your frame rate in VR is just get rid of the crowds. It's like that and shadows are the big things. I did rerun the iRacing graphics tool to try and get like a nice solid 90 because that's the frame rate I'm running my headset at. And we were having all kinds of frame rate issues and all that during the Daytona 24. Oh dear. There we go. Big stretch. Hey, it's a pit wall. Look at that scuff texture. Isn't that nice? Nice blurry textures on the ground as well. Because you're never meant to be seeing them at this way. At that close up. Kind of one of the fun things about VR is seeing all these textures that you're never meant to see this close. Just being able to put your face right up against it. Oh, here we go. We are gridding at last.
One to go. Next time by.
It's like the
Line
wait.
up on the inside. Pit road is closed right now.
The wait for qualifying to end is interminable sometimes. What's up, Flagman? Right, third on the grid means in theory we have freedom to go forward right at the start of the race, but we'll see. Pretty much only do unofficial oval races these days. Have a clean one. Yeah, good luck with that. 25 laps of Charlotte, about 10 minutes or so. Let me pass, I'm faster. Monsieur Martinez. Yep, checking out the two most important buttons on the steering wheel. Does he have that bound to the macro? Jesus Christ, dude.
Max Kugler.
So I do have plans to play Hitman later, and Maximilian Kugler is kind of setting the tone, really. So what do we got? We got Lowe's car, and I can't actually see what that livery is of that guy ahead. Red Bull guy is not visible, at least not in my mirror.
Report.
Kick up a little smoke. One to green, inside line, exactly where you want to be. It's always fun in unofficial races seeing how people handle a pace lap, because it's one of those vital skills of oval racing that a lot of people just do not have for whatever reason. Like, drive slowly around the track. This is difficult for some reason, because people have to do this stupid weaving thing, thinking it warms their tyres. It doesn't. We've been over this for years. It's not a thing.
Get ready, going green.
Alright.
The pace car is off, be ready. Green, green, green.
Guy in fourth was caught napping. Oh, that's why it looks weird. I disabled the grandstands. I forgot about that. I should probably re-enable them because they just make they just make the track look weird. Drifting up a bit. That's going to bring fourth back into it. He wants nothing to do with it. That is fine with me. Had to back out of it again, getting a shitload of aero push. Nice drift up the track there, my dude.
The next car's the leader.
There's a murder.
You're in second position right now.
This guy's got a
Inside.
this guy's got a run. Doesn't want it.
The next car's the leader.
Man, we are not getting these turns right. This
Inside.
guy's got the inside.
Stay high. Clear inside. Outside.
Whoa!
Stay low. There's a car on the high side. Clear.
Little tap. No harm done. Oh, that was exhilarating. Okay, we've got some clean air now. Oh, that guy
Fitting now.
just went to the pits for some reason.
Okay, you are the leader.
Okay, this suddenly just got a lot more interesting. I've only won one oval race in iRacing in my time, and it was a street stock race. And fourth is falling back for whatever reason.
Slow car down low. Go high.
Okay, this is now just hit your marks. I mean, 7 years on iRacing, even in unofficial races, I've only got 2 race wins to my name. Whoa!
Clear inside. Your car has too much damage. We've got to fix it.
Well, that happened. See, folks, that's why you use your relative. So you can see when there's cars coming up behind you. Okay, there's an actual battle happening for the leader. For the lead now. We're not going to jump back into this, but we are going to see if there's any more death to be had here. Actually changed plans, we are going to go back in and immediately fuck up our pit exit. Oh, if we still manage the top 10 after a tow and a question of whether or not it's actually worth us getting back into the race, that'd be very funny. I will give you the inside if you want it, my dude.
Still there. Car outside. Outside is clear.
And you are lagging like crazy.
Car inside. Clear. Car inside. Clear inside. Car inside. Clear.
How we just like, you know there's a car on the outside and you're just constantly like
You'll need to tow back to pit lane.
flinging it back up to be right by the wall.
Come and get you.
Like, come on, like, think about what's around you. I'm kind of curious to watch now, see like whether that is just a constant thing they're doing. It's like you're trying to do too much, dude. Anyway, that'll do it for now. The experience could have been better. Pretty much done for now. Gonna be back later, hopefully. All things go into plan. To play some Hitman, but until then, Thanks for coming by, and we'll see you later.